How are you gonna disrespect your mom like that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your job isn't dangerous.
You would have to actually go to work.
Went to school, and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice. You're
high. You're hungover.
Credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time.
I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
What is going on? So today we're going to be looking at 9-to-5 workers versus streamers. Which one is harder? Now this is a debate that's done by FaZe, which they're known for doing their trick shots, and now they're just like full-time streamers. Now I haven't watched this video yet, but I did look at the comments, and a lot were asking, hey, you need to debate a blue-collar worker. Luckily, I'm a blue-collar worker. I've been a blue-collar worker for over a decade. And I'm gonna give you my perspective on what both sides have to say and if blue-collar is actually harder than streaming. Let's begin. I'm not sure who any of these streamers are, just to be clear. I mean, I recognize two of them. The guy...
What's up? How's it going?
I do recognize this guy. I think this is Lacey. I have seen like clips of him doing stuff. I remember him, I think it was him who was building like a shed. And I do recognize the guy in the back. I don't know what his name is. He kind of looks like Temu or Value Brand Aiden Ross, but I guess we'll see who it is. But he does look kind of familiar.
Same old different day.
So we're starting off with James. He's
So
the
my
male
argument
carrier.
here is that
Oh, okay. So it is Lacey. Wow, I was right. So just to describe Lacey, he has cultivated a substantial multi-platform audience with nearly 1.5 million Twitch followers, over 1 million Instagram followers, 2.3 million TikTok, and 200,000 on X. He joined FaZe Clan in 2024, so a year ago. And he's quickly gaining notoriety through Fortnite and IRL streams. Okay.
streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9-to-5.
Facts.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9-to-5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing is, you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties, maybe you sign a few envelopes, answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're
turns
a mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We have to deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of people
Bullshit.
critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You
have.
guys got it made, man. I wish I had it made like y'all.
We don't have to
I
go
wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to.
it gravy, bro.
What's the next trend? What's the next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day.
God.
Okay, so he's making the case that 9 to 5 is harder because they have to wake up early. They have to deal with BS all day. They're go. They don't get breaks or whatever. They have to hustle. And Lacey's saying that he can't relax or sleep. He can't get a good night's sleep because he's a streamer. Oh, what? If I'm looking at a blue collar perspective, we wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and we're out the door. We try to get a good night's sleep, but I'll tell you right now, a lot of guys don't because they don't go to bed till like 10 or 11 o'clock at night and they wake up at 3 or 4. So that's what? A couple hours. And that's on them. Same with streaming. If you can't get 8 hours of sleep as a streamer, I don't think you're streaming all day. What? I don't know how, to be fair, I don't watch streamers. So I don't actually know how long they stream for. But I don't think they're streaming all day. Unless there's someone like Asmongold or something. I feel like he streams all the time. Because I always see his videos. He posts like 20 videos a day. How the hell do you post that many if you don't stream all the time? Yeah, 9 to 5, you do have to deal with a lot of BS in 9 to 5 works. Or especially in blue collar. You have to deal with stupid people, stupid customers, stupid clients, and stupid bosses. And stupid coworkers. I believe that's the same for streamers. You always have to deal with stupid people. And streamers, I feel like it's 100 times, 1,000 times that, just because they have the entire Twitch chat who are just telling them a lot of wrong things. There are some probably smart people who are telling them good stuff, but it's like mob mentality. And I do think that part is kind of a little bit more difficult. But again, it's behind the screen. It's easier to ignore someone who's behind a monitor than it is to ignore someone in real life when they're criticizing you. In that perspective, I'd say maybe blue collar is more difficult when it comes to like feedback and I don't know, and especially getting a good night's sleep.
I have to stream today.
And I got dogs I want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy,
Are they?
I wish I
24/7.
could be at home like you and get back and get paid.
Okay, I
We're
do
not
agree
even
with
at
that.
home.
They
We're
do have to
walking
be
around,
high energy.
walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do all
things,
of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit
stuff.
I gotta slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I gotta work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
That's true.
No, I'm not.
steady rate.
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as
Yeah,
that.
but you have a
Obviously.
guaranteed
A
pay.
guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get
Just
paid
to
either.
accumulate.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat
What?
spamming L's.
What the hell?
We don't like this video.
Okay, they're trolling. You don't gotta deal with people spamming L's. Come on, bro. he's trolling. Classic. That was a good one. If you don't work, you don't get paid. That's just how it is. I mean, that makes sense, right? Same with streaming. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Granted, the amount you get paid is a lot different between the two. Blue collar, I can work as much overtime as I want, whatever. And I'll maybe clear almost 100K or over 100K, depending on, especially a lot of different guys, depending on what trade you're in or even what industry you're in. Again, you'll be shy of 100K or over 100K. And that's blue collar work in 8, 12, 14-hour days. Streamers, on the other hand, they can work those same hours, or at least these streamers, famous streamers. Since FaZe Clan is the one who's doing it, I mean, these guys live in a multi-million-dollar mansion. They all clear hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a year. You can't compare, oh man, I have to bust my butt for like pennies on the dollar. I mean, that's true. Everyone in the working class does. But they're entertainers. So their value, or not their value, but the amount of money they can make because of brands who value pushing and selling products and stuff off to the customers, value that.
Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys
that
like
is
this stream?
hard.
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F does not define shit.
If streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called
That's
fat
true.
all the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your homeboys, though. I'm going to keep it a buck. That's your
Yeah.
homeboy.
Yeah, and you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing flags.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
All right, so who are they interviewing now? Sarah, she's an
I
ex-chef.
was actually
Okay.
a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
That's life.
Children every day.
We deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
Okay, she screwed up with saying I deal with children every single day. Pretty much 90% of a streamer's audience are children, so you can't say that to a streamer.
Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. Do you know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't
That is not hard.
So difficult.
How long
That
do you
is so
think
easy.
this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever.
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's going to last forever.
All right. A 9-to-5 job is generally more secure than streaming because it offers steady income, benefits, and legal protections. That's very true. While streaming is unpredictable, highly competitive, and income depends on viewer support and algorithms. They pretty much are describing almost a business owner when they're talking about streamers. Because a 9-to-5 worker, they're guaranteed income. Their company has to pay them. A business owner isn't always guaranteed income, especially small business owner. He doesn't have steady income. He doesn't have benefits. He does not have legal protections because he's on his own. That's why a lot of people don't want to start their own business, because they like the comfort of a 9-to-5. And I understand that completely. I get it. It's a lot easier and simpler life. But you're going to have an easier and simpler life, which means your pay isn't going to be, your pay is going to be simple. Streamers and business owners, their pay can vary like crazy. You can make $1,000 one month and then $100,000 the next month. It's insane. But that's the risk you take when you do this stuff. And not all of them are going to succeed. A lot of businesses fail within the first couple of years, and a lot of businesses are in the red for the first couple of years. So really, I kind of feel like this video should be named 9 to 5 versus business owner, which one is harder? And that would kind of make more sense.
Having a job, being
That's
a
why
cook,
he gotta grind.
you have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him.
Oh,
what
trigger
would you
warning.
do? If you
No,
lost completely
a
all
job.
your YouTubers, you
I gotta
had
bleep
nothing.
that.
No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to work.
Oh, go to work. Say it ain't so.
Did I just cuss at you?
That's a slur. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real
So
estate
stupid.
empire.
Okay, so then you would have to
Okay.
actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would.
So this is where the difficulty changes. A 9 to 5 worker, a blue collar, whatever. If I were to lose my job, I could easily pick up another job doing the same type of work. No big deal. It'd be fine. But I'd have to just get another job. What Lacey is talking about, if his streaming ended, he said he could just buy a couple houses and start going into real estate. What 9 to 5 or blue collar worker could ever even think about doing that? If I get fired, I'm not thinking, or if I get laid off, I'm not thinking, oh yeah, let me just go buy a bunch of property. What the hell? No, I'm broke. I'm trying to think, oh shit, I gotta get another job so I don't burn through my funds. She keeps bringing up bad arguments. And this one is not a good argument because she's talking about, oh, what if streaming ends? Well, then I'll have millions of dollars. What if my job ends? Well, then I'll have a couple $1,000s and then I gotta go get a new one before my funds run out. I got bills to pay. And that aspect, I guess working 9 to 5 or blue collar is harder to save money. It's harder to make money and save money. That's the real thing.
Would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But no, he lost everybody. He lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever. He would have to turn around.
You're proving my point.
You would have to turn
proving my
around.
point.
She is proving
You're
his
proving
point.
my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all tomorrow.
Yeah, but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there.
You could be a private chef.
You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook?
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
That's true.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlight. Yo, Lacey, it's the truth.
All right, who's this? Who's this?
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 local cans.
Bro,
I gotta make
come
sure,
on,
like I
man.
gotta make sure I get the 4 local can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda.
Okay, Rhonda, she's a nurse. Good for her. That's a good career. Bro, it is so easy to make sponsored content. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Maybe you'll fall off if you make too much of it, and you won't get the impressions or views that you normally would get. And that's true. Making the ad is not hard. I just saw, who's that guy? The What's Up Brother, that guy? I don't know his name, but I just saw him do an ad, or I always see him do ads of Prize Picks. Oh, Prize Picks, whatever the hell. I don't even know what Prize Picks is, to be honest. I'm sure it's like sports gambling. But anyways, he's always on there. And then I just saw recently, Selena Gomez doing like Oreo ads. First off, damn, she looks horrible. Second off, they're just reading a script. They don't have to do anything. They literally just show up, read what somebody else wrote for them, and then go home. It's very, very simple. Very easy money, very simple money. Reading an ad is definitely the easiest part of any streamer. That's for sure. You just, if you're self-conscious about always having the same views, ads aren't going to get as many views as your normal content because it's an ad. Not a lot of people care about the ads.
I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you.
From Arkansas. 35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
What is she talking about? This is 9 to 5 workers versus streamers or even blue collar. Why are you bringing up segregation when you were a kid. What does that have to do with now? We're talking about now. We're not talking about 9-to-5 workers 70 years ago, 60 years ago. We're talking about 9-to-5 workers today. You can't just bring up that makes no sense. It's like the Coke versus Pepsi debate. You can say, okay, we're going to debate, is Coke or Pepsi better? Well, Coke 60 years ago, I remember when it was made with real sugar and that was really good, so it's better than Pepsi. Yeah, but it's not anymore, so you can't just use that example. It's a dumb argument, and it actually makes no sense. I don't even know what her angle's at. I have no clue what she's trying to get at.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done it?
You get spoiled. No,
Damn,
you get
Rhonda.
spoiled. Your mama and daddy keep giving it to you.
Rhonda,
I
I got a question for Rhonda. I got a question for Rhonda. Rhonda, have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's read this really quick. A Twitch subathon is a live streaming event on Twitch where the streamer's broadcast time is extended based on the number of subscriptions they receive. Essentially, every time a viewer subscribes, the streamer's time increases. It's creating a marathon stream that can last for hours or even days. I have seen this before, seen people do it. Ludwig, I think he did one. I remember him doing like the longest one or something that was like really famous like a couple years ago or something. Yeah, constantly being on camera is gonna be hard, especially if you're there for days on camera. I mean, you just obviously you take bathroom breaks and you can eat on camera and whatnot. But yeah, that's gotta be a little bit taxing. I mean, you're sleeping on camera, but I don't really think that's that bad because you're pretty much just chilling. Yeah, you're interacting with people. Maybe for like an introvert or someone who's like less outgoing, it's gonna be hard for them to keep the energy or the momentum for a long period of time. And maybe that's why the subathons die out, because people stop subscribing.
24 hours a day.
Day and night. No break.
We all stream for...
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
you know how hard it is
a registered
to
nurse?
have...
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad?
You
When have you ever ran? You never ran a 3-minute ad?
You pass trays. You short-handed.
Talk about the fake relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Fake relationships?
It's fake
Think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person, we call them parasocials. They judge your relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging you.
I got caught with my ex.
I got caught with my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental...
Do I need the backstory on this? What does that mean? I got treated like I was a pedo for meeting up with my ex? What the hell? Was he... I'm so confused. Did he first start dating her when he was like in high school as a senior and she was a freshman? And then once he graduated, he got back together with her? I don't know. I'm a little confused with that one. I'll move on.
Mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think, social media, what they say about you.
That's our
job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or a 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh, brother.
Short-handed.
We're saving thousands.
Wait.
You're saving one.
We're saving thousands, you're saving one. They are trolling. This is 9-to-5 worker versus trolls. That's what this is. What the hell? Obviously, open heart surgery is more difficult than streaming. What? You're dealing with someone's life. One mistake, they're dead. One mistake, streaming for 24 hours, you just make a mistake. Okay? Delete the VOD.
So you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yeah.
Ethan, wait. He doesn't have a job. He has no occupation. So what does he do? Is this 9 to 5 or is this unemployed workers versus streamers? The unemployed versus streamers debate.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your editors, your producers. All these people
just kind of look like that.
Doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
Well, that's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
That's true. So they all work together. Again, it's like business owners. Them by themselves, They could work by themselves with no help, with no camera crew, whatever, nothing. But it'd be a lot harder and they wouldn't be as big as they are. It's like a company. You wouldn't be able to expand because you don't have the right resources or people. I mean, people are the best resource to expand. Same with streaming. But once you do, when you're on bigger productions, you need help. That doesn't diminish the value of the help you get, but it's just part of it. The business owner or the streamer, he created the environment to have those people help him. He still created it. Same with business owner. They created the business and now they need help with running the business.
Even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you know?
I have.
To be fair, businesses don't need to sponsor like that to still make a profit. It's just to help increase sales. When's the last time you saw a ramen commercial? Yeah, I don't think you've ever seen one. But we're still buying ramen. They're still in business. I've never seen a sponsor for ramen. And still, people buy ramen. Companies will survive. Maybe it's a way to like distribute the wealth that they have. Because they have so much money, they need to distribute a little bit. And it's through marketing.
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Why are they laughing at that?
Bro, it's not. She's making me mad. I actually feel like they're wrong.
Okay, Ron, round 2. Stable Ronaldo's. Is his first name Stable? Okay. Ronaldo's streams are high energy and entertaining, often featuring Fortnite gameplay, funny reactions, and interactive moments with fans. Known for his humor and loud personality, he keeps his audience engaged with constant commentary and viral clips. On Twitch, he has 3.5, almost 4 million followers, and he gets 20,000 views per stream. That's really good. 20,000? Damn.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay?
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%.
Makes it less stressful
Makes
with
it
guaranteed
easier
pay.
for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
so you're
like...
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
Well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you're someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9-to-5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't...
So one thing he's definitely right about is when he's talking about a lot of these jobs you don't need a degree for, that's correct. A lot of jobs, especially now, you don't need a degree for. More and more companies don't care about degrees and care about skills, which is great because I think a lot of colleges are just scams anyways. How do you spend $200,000 on a school and are stuck being a barista or a waiter? What?
You don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9-to-5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay. That's one aspect of it.
Working
right?
at Foot Locker, working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer. Yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas. You have to stay relevant.
We're talking about
Yeah, so he's right. It is. Working at those jobs are 100% easier, especially Foot Locker. What the? Any kind of retail job is extremely, and I do get what he's saying that you do have a guaranteed pay. It is very nice when you're working to know, hey, I'm going to make this much a week because I know how much I make. The only time my pay changes is if I don't get my hours, which is very rare, or if I work overtime, which is even more money. So I'm even better. So it is nice to have that peace of mind of guaranteed, more or less, income. He's right. For a streamer, same, business owner, streamer, business owner, the pay isn't guaranteed. So yeah, that kind of sucks, not knowing, hey, am I going to make any money this month? But if you are a business owner or a streamer, you should have some kind of money saved up to help with these slow times.
Ideas now. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
what do you-
talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to
that's
start with
one
though?
way that
But it
it's
doesn't
easier.
make. But
Well,
you're not
you started
even.
with
You're not
pay.
even. You keep switching it. So why
I'm
don't you
not
answer my
switching
question?
anything.
He is-
No, you 100%
he is
are.
switching.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that
difficult.
you need creativity. You need to
Okay.
get out of your circle, comfort
Sure.
zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing. So the people that you're entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true.
That's true.
But you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to you
doesn't have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you could sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure.
example,
Yeah,
is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense of
hard
everyday
physically,
activity. Because
there's
some people
hard-
around here said, oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
7 or
And
8?
you deal with
That is
yourself.
late, bro. It's already nighttime. What are you talking
millions
about?
When you're
people.
creating that content and you have your phone,
Okay.
you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
coworkers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, oh, we're not doing it anymore? You lose your job.
If the work is picking
That's
up
true.
the phone or turning on the camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift
Yeah.
and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
interpersonal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number.
Okay, let me simplify this. Working 9 to 5 is harder than a streamer only because of the fact that you have to interact with other people in your 9 to 5 that make your job more difficult or stressful. That is why 9 to 5 is more difficult or harder than a streamer. For Bluecollar, at least, I like my job, and the hardest part about it is not the work. The work is actually not that hard. It's pretty easy. Once you get it down, it's really not that bad. You know, you have some obstacles to overcome, but whatever, it's fine. You can do it. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. The problem always came when you interact with stupid people or people who are always trying to rush you for no reason. So many times I would have a set schedule, like, hey, we need to get this project done in 8 weeks. Okay, no problem. I'd set up my plan. By week 4, I'd already be almost done with it. And then they see that and they go, oh, wow, can we actually have this done in 5 weeks? I'm like, oh, no? Like, oh, we really need to get this done in 5 weeks. No, because I'm getting close, but you gave me 8 weeks. I have this set out to be done in 6.5 to 7 weeks. Still early. But now you guys are trying to rush me because you see I'm moving so fast. We're not going to rush even more. And that's what makes it stressful, is me trying to like just push everyone off and be like, dude, relax. It's just mental stress. I mean, the physical stress isn't that bad. I mean, yeah, you have physical stress. I like the physical stress. It's nice. But the mental stress of just dealing with stupid people all the time is what makes it hard.
Hours
perfectly.
that you are talking and typing and shitting and eating and all that stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most
Sure.
important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
He just left? Damn, the old dude just talked crap and said some random crap and then just left. I don't think that guy even came for conversation. He just came to be a boomer. All right, we have Angelina. She is an executive assistant.
I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. I know. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right. 9 to 5. I look good though. Yeah, we good.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but
Most 9 to 5 workers would say their job is actually 8 to 6.
I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I
It
get
is nice
home.
to have a
But
wife.
if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect, and I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long have you
berated.
been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job.
That's true.
And you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other opportunities.
You're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple.
She's 100% correct. For blue collar, if I want to take a vacation, it sucks because anyone knows that if you take a vacation, you're not making money. You're hemorrhaging money out the ass. Nobody likes to lose money. If I travel somewhere for work, it's not a vacation. I have to work. Usually when I'm traveling, I don't work 8-hour days. I work 10, 12, 14, 16-hour days because we're trying to get this job done, go back because they have to pay us every day per diem. They don't want to do that. They try to get done as quick as possible. Now, streamers, on the other hand, they travel and they can. She's 100% correct. You have a vacation. Yes, you're spending money on the vacation. You're hemorrhaging money. But at the same time, you're creating content for the channels to at least make some money back or to even make more money. So that's why streaming is actually better because you do get a vacation. Yes, you do have to work on your vacation, but whatever. At least you're doing something. And you don't have to work all the time. Just quickly make a video and you're good. You don't have to sit there and vlog all day while you're on vacation because then is that really a vacation? It's just streaming in a different country or wherever, in a different area.
So you're saying like to go back to the beginning, you were saying like you can manage like your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home. Like
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would have been able to do it without.
Example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money.
What
and it
is
slowly
that
went
video?
Super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Oh,
Almost
not the
everything
toes.
fell off
He was
completely.
about
About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke.
Okay, bro. Every guy goes through that struggle of what am I doing with my life? Do I even have a purpose? Would it be better if I just end it? Every guy goes through that. What are you talking about, dude? It's not a big deal.
Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9-to-5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making more than my rent.
Yeah.
So I was losing.
You were in the red every month.
I was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she's laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that.
Oh, so you did live with his mom.
That to a certain extent is privilege.
What do they snap? I don't understand. What's the snap for? I don't get that. Why do I keep seeing a bunch of people doing the snapping? Is that a way to clap without making noise? It just seems stupid to me. But that is good. He had a support system with his mom. I get it. Not a lot of people have that. But when you're a kid, of course, before you turn 18, you're going to have a support system because your parents have to take care of you. Whether they take care of you well or not, they still have to put a roof over your head and kind of feed you. And that's all you need. When you turn 18, I know. When I turned 18, I was out. I got kicked out and I immediately had to get a job. And I started working blue collar. I didn't have a support system. But I made it work. I was able to make money and just survive on my own. It sucked. I wish I could have stayed home because I was paying pretty much my entire check to rent. And, you're barely able to eat and you're just working all the time and it sucks. When you're a kid, I'd honestly prefer my kids to focus on doing streaming or something to keep them active and their mind busy because then it makes them learn something. That's good. I don't care if it's cringy, whatever. They're learning how to film, edit, whatever. They're learning how to do something rather than just sit there and play video games all day because, you're not learning.
It is.
But my mom, how's that privilege?
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that
Yeah,
live
like I said,
yeah,
everyone
but a lot
has
of people
that.
don't, and they have to take 9
That's a
to
whole
5s.
different discussion. So a lot of people don't.
Like I said, if you're under 18, you have at least some kind of support system. It might not be a good one, but you have to have it by law. And you really can't get a job. You can get a job, but it's not the same. You don't get a 9 to 5 if you're under 18, unless it's like the summer. Where her point doesn't make sense for people who are underage. People who are overage does make sense.
Don't have houses.
A lot of
when
people
they working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept them.
But that's a whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed, so.
Okay, well, I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place.
What are the flags for?
So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
This is like a flag on the play, false start?
I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing's secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but
They
content
are.
creation gives you the ability to have those savings, to have an audience.
That's
and even
true.
if you do lose all your followers one day,
Yeah.
even if
Let's
you
say I
lose,
lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But that's-
videos. Even if people are hating on you and
that's not
shitting on you,
necessarily-
that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of $1,000s.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
So
school.
were we.
You
And
went
those
to
are like
school to be a
that's a
content creator.
small
Streamer University.
Small thing. Streamer University. Shut your bitch ass up. Streamer University. Round 3. Adapt. Adapt is a top tier variety and IRL streamer, averaging around 1,300 views per stream, and he has almost 1 million followers, and he gets 45,000 viewers each time he streams. He is a key figure in FaZe Clan. He helped shape FaZe's brand from its original stage to now. Okay. Oh, that's FaZe Adapt?
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Huh.
Gabe.
Gabe, how
Okay,
you
he's
doing?
with Gabe, a
Doing good.
college professor.
So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job. You don't
know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure.
No, you don't. First off, really, a college professor is going to talk about work. The problem is this debate is just too vague. Each job has its own difficulty. Some jobs are a lot harder than streaming, and some jobs are way easier than streaming. This is just too vague of a question, and everyone's just trying to pinpoint, hey, my thing is better than everyone else's. No, it should be, hey, maybe even certain aspects are harder. I'm sure there's an aspect of being a college professor that's harder than being a streamer. But as a whole, it's probably not as hard. Same with being like, okay, let's say as a welder or an HVAC tech, like whatever. As a welder, if I had to 6G mirror weld, that would be harder than being a streamer. That aspect of the job. But just welding in general, normally, say I'm in like a shop and I'm doing all pretty much flat. Easiest thing in the world. Streamer is way harder than that. I'm just giving you examples of aspects of a job that can be harder and easier than each one. And like I said, this whole topic is just too vague. And again, it should be business owners versus 9-to-5 workers, not streamers.
Or it's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful because if
you can just easily get another job.
Weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're gonna lose their job. If you lose some followers.
As a blue-collar worker, you don't have to worry about saying something wrong or weird to your coworkers. They don't give a shit. If anything, they'll probably like you more if you do. So that's the good thing about blue collar. You don't have to worry about getting canceled. And also, streamers also don't have to worry about getting canceled. I mean, just by saying stuff. Obviously, doing certain things, like Lacey was accused of. I mean, he didn't, but he was accused of that. Then it's more detrimental. Being canceled for saying something, talk to anyone who's canceled. Shane Gillis, for example, is the most known, but he got canceled and now he's better off than he was. A lot of comedians want to get canceled, are trying to get canceled. That's why they do too much, like a little over-exaggerated shock comedy, because they want to get canceled, because they know their career is going to blow up and they're going to make more money than ever. You don't have that at a 9-to-5. If you say something and you get fired, you're just going to go back to making the same money at a different company. And then you'll never be hired at that company. You're not going to make more money. It's not going to be better for you. If anything, it's just going to hurt you for like a week or two until you get another job.
Because of something you say, you'll get other followers, and you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content.
That's true.
People who
You will have diehard
and
fans.
lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession. There's not a lot of jobs, as could be now. They get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back?
Exactly what I was talking about. Cancel culture is when someone is called out on social media for something they did, or for an opinion in the present or past that turns society against them, and it goes viral, ruining that person's career or online popularity. Well, a lot of the canceling that makes people famous is canceling done by a small group of people who know how to annoy brands, and brands stop giving sponsorships to certain people, thus canceling them because they're not making money. But the reason they get bigger than ever is because a majority of people still like them and don't give a crap about that stupid cancel culture stuff. So in the long run, when the mob of weirdos, the small mob of weirdos, completely forget and they go off to the next whatever hot topic, then that person will just blow back up. It's fine. I mean, even people who did get canceled for talking to minors, they still came back because their audience was so strong. If you got caught in your job talking to minors, like as a blue collar worker, if I got caught like that as blue collar, I'd lose my job, but then I'd just go get hired somewhere else. And no one would know because I'm at a completely different company. I'm a new man. Nobody even knows who I was. In streaming, people will always bring that up, but you're always going to have dedicated fans. So you can continue your career. Just give it a couple time. I mean, there's been plenty of cases. Just give it some time, and you can continue your career and still make good money. Probably not as much, but still make good money. But you just got to deal with the hate of people constantly bringing up that topic that you want to forget about.
I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time 5 times.
Okay, but check
and
it
you're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that do follow you, you need to build that over years and years and years and hours of trust and
That's true.
communication and intimate relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you. You don't just fall into 1 million subscribers, 2 million subscribers, 3 million subscribers.
Of course not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that, that's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no matter what. Anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
I'm a college professor.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know blue collar, I know white collar. All different industries, different careers. You do not have to be on all the time in any of these industries. You do not. There's so many people who always brag about sleeping or just being on YouTube at their work, not working. Or they always take coffee breaks or smoke breaks because they know they can get away with that. You don't have to be on it all the time. You can get around doing work. And I've seen it so many times. So many times.
I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on, bro.
I mean, he does have similar curriculum.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12
Same
years
as streaming.
old. It started out playing
Baby Adept.
trick-shotting. I don't think
I remember this clip.
Hit a crane shot. I don't know.
Oh,
anyone
shoot.
In this room can quick scope.
I don't know if
So
that's
I had
something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then do streaming.
Okay.
So you're
with how many
constantly-
people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
For which stages?
All of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
When I was
it just you? Like
No.
Okay.
It was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people were.
Adept built FaZe? I mean, I saw the clip. I remember FaZe when they first started, back in Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, Black Ops 1. I remember all that. I mean, shoot, I might have done a few trick shots myself, you know what I'm saying? But I remember Cloaksy, Tfue. I do remember the Adept, Jailmock, like the old school names. I don't know, maybe they're not old school, but Those are the names I can think of when I think of FaZe. But it seems like Adept is like the only OG that's still there. Timu Brand, Aiden Ross.
Worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if
you
it didn't exist, you couldn't press play, you couldn't press record, and then just talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on. Then boom, there you go.
Right, but I also had to spend years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just
That doesn't invalidate it. Just because you do something on your spare time doesn't invalidate someone who does it full time for work. I mean, shit, if I could get paid to play video games, I would. Who wouldn't do that? That doesn't invalidate the work. That just makes it, hey, you're just smarter for being able to do something you love to do and get paid for it. He has to do something, I don't know if he loves to do it, but he's done it for so long, maybe it's just something he's good at.
to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
All right, who's this?
I'm Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist's physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
Brother.
You guys just
Physicality of hair and makeup? Am I missing something?
I know how to do a 3-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone is very different. Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all day.
Any blue collar worker would destroy Vicky. Lady, come on. Hair and makeup. What the hell are you talking about? All right, Adept. Physicality of blue collar work is a lot more than streaming. And a lot more than I guarantee anyone in this room. Like I said, people are saying there's no blue collar representation in this room. Blue collar would beat everybody here in physical work.
You never sit down.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Spray.
Listen, so your whole
so
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen,
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
So your
your
thing
job
is-
isn't physically
your thing is
taxing.
Dangerous. Have you ever had to crane a 13-ton unit and then use your fucking piece of wood standing 2 feet from it to put it on the freaking stands? Have you ever worked 80 feet in the air fitting up pipe? No, you haven't. What are you talking about? Dangerous. I remember being on those boom lifts fully extended up. Any slight gust of wind or you move and that thing moves a couple feet side by side. I hated doing that stuff. Like, dude, get me the hell down. I'm dead if it tips over. Like, what can I do?
And you're just talking into a
So,
microphone.
listen. So your whole thing. Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not physical. I'm saying that a 9-to-5 job where you physically have to do some hauling around stuff.
So physically, I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller.
Okay, he's trolling, but he's right. He's trolling.
Man. No one in here. Come on, man. None of you could.
But you carry some hair and makeup.
And you have to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
It's
yes.
taking them 4 days to hit a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days to hit a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is never done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No.
all of the things
Wait.
that you use?
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You don't know
done.
about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God, disable
Elgato?
resample.
If I rendered my video
I don't
in
know
Vegas
what that is.
and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample,
Oh my God.
my montage is fucked. Your main
I don't know what that means.
underlying argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so
I don't
how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think
How many hours
guys
a
ever do.
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long I
day, 12
needed
hours
to.
a day
However
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 10-10. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be in the right spot, throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down.
Nah. Don't even BS us like this. We know a lot of them on stage. We know that you get your homies on the other team and then you just play like that. We know how it is. A lot of them are real. But don't try to say, oh, they're all real. BS. We know they're not, bro. We know. Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, COD 4. I might have hit a few, trick shots. Ladder, YY, fakie, 360, no scope. I might have hit a few. Little collaterals, you know how it is. Little wall bangs. Little 8-man kill cam, headshot. Little cross the map tomahawks. Cross the map throwing knives. Might have hit a few trick shots. Jumping off the mountain, throwing knife, 360. Few trick shots, back in my day.
I got my rotation.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zone.
Stick drift.
Stick drift.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us. I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing.
That's true.
That's happened.
That's why I don't do IRL streams.
Thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him.
his
when he
thoughts.
All right, Silky. Who the heck is Silky? He's a high-energy IRL streamer, GTA 5 streamer, known for reactive, interactive streams alongside FaZe members. On Twitch, he has 900,000 followers. He gets 8 to 20,000 viewers, and he peaks at 60K. Again, really good numbers.
My name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
She's a librarian.
Occupational.
All right, easiest job in the world.
I worked as a librarian with elementary school children. I have been an executive secretary, legal.
Very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. Because it's who you are. That we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
Are you serious?
You have false energy because you're across the screen. You're not
False
interacting
energy?
with people like we do.
So what are we doing right now?
What the hell is false energy? You mean like pretend to be happy or energetic just for the person in front of you or whoever your audience is? Yeah, that's normal. That's real life. I can talk to someone in person, act like the happiest guy in the world. Meanwhile, I'm just like, fuck this shit. Quit talking to me, you idiot. I hate you. Get away from me. But I don't say that. I just go, oh yeah, cool. Whoa, dude. Whoa, dude. I don't know. Are they going to say that a movie star and a TV star are false energy? No, they still enjoy their content. So what are they talking about? Streamers are pretty much movie stars. This debate is just too big.
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Wait, isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me.
There's millions of people who watch the video and
Yes.
save lives every day. Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out and to the clubs at night, staying out till 10 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was
to
having
get-
fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so
So what I'm saying is like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
okay. Now
Hey, yo, what the heck? They had to cut that because it got freaky for a second. What is this lady talking about? She's talking about going out to the club to party and then it being hard for her to wake up in the morning? Blue-collar workers would destroy her too. What the hell is this lady yapping about? Can we get people with good arguments? I mean, some of these people have had good arguments. But some of these people, what the hell are they even talking about?
go to the club, you get to put some shades on, and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that your
drunk,
choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
stream. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't
That's
like
true.
you like
You
this.
shouldn't
Why are
do
you
that in
doing
front of your
this?
audience.
But is
Especially
that
since
your
your audience
choice?
especially since your audience is kids, you should not be under the influence of anything if you know your audience is going to be a younger version, because that's a bad example you set to people. When you're an icon or whatever, you have to set good examples for the people who follow you. You have to. It's your responsibility. If you don't do that, then you're a piece of crap.
You chose that. You chose this
No,
life.
that's the thing. We can't. We
And
can't
that's what's
do what
happening
you do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9-to-5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No, you are not.
Do you know how many fans we meet a day?
Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you
because
watch
I think-
any entertainment?
Oh my God.
Of course I watch
So do you
entertainment.
ever,
I got kids.
wait,
I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh? Do you ever laugh?
Of course I laugh.
So then they
We're
interact with
touching
you.
them.
But the interaction is
Did
not
it make you
real.
feel better?
When I'm watching
Wait, did it make you feel better?
Then what make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
Have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends- it
Have you
all
ever been
depends
entertained
on
and been like,
what's coming.
oh, I feel good?
Some of it is fake.
right now.
Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So
me.
now let me.
Okay, well, let me answer your, because I'm debating him,
Okay, yeah.
but go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now. Go
all
ahead.
right, come on.
So when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Do you know? You just
But
like,
that's
wait a minute, somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
I'm a very social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
She for the
Has
streets.
not
It's
affected
popular in
people
the
that are real.
streets.
How come when I go out in public and I meet
I don't know, I don't
someone,
wanna disrespect
oh my
like
God,
that.
wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you
Or their
every
hands
single
shaking,
day.
their hands shaking.
Like you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had kids
Ben
come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life. Have kids come up to me and say these things. So
Okay.
I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Robbie, restaurant server.
That's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu. Makes
Robbie's job is probably harder than a streamer. The service industry sucks so bad. That's one type of job I'd never work, a service job.
the same food every day. Bro.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard, because my aunt was. That is the
My
most
mom
difficult
was.
shit.
Nobody
How are you gonna
said
disrespect
it wasn't
your mom
hard.
like
No,
that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect
She
your
loves
mom
it.
and say that your work is harder?
She tells
That
me
is
it's
so
easy.
rude,
Nigga,
honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
she works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She can work at 2 hospitals.
No disrespect. No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just said. You won't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has
Hey,
to get
chill,
judged
chill.
every
I gotta get
single
judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco's.
You can get a job if you have tats, just not face tattoos. In blue collar, you can get a job if you have face tattoos, but normal jobs, normal 9 to 5s, a lot of them don't like face tats. So don't get a face tat. Don't be a retard.
I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire, I get the biggest stipend of my life. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, what, maybe 20 years I'm gonna be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
okay.
I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah, Will.
Come on, bro.
Is what you do fun?
I mean,
Do you enjoy what you do?
if I make it fun,
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What's he getting
What
at?
isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
I don't know what he's trying to get at with the fun question. I mean, shoot, a lot of the blue collar work, pretty much all of it, is fun to me. I like building stuff, working on stuff. That's really fun. I mean, yeah, there's struggles that come along with certain parts of it, but heck yeah, it's fun. And you just chilling with the boys all day, having fun, bro. It's great.
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Not fun at all. Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous.
Damn, this guy's aggressive.
You're on his diesel.
Chill.
Okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to.
No, listen to the time that I wake
you
up.
just
I
come
wake
out
up
hot.
maybe 3, 4 p.m. You know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people.
Shut up. I make bad choices because other people make me make these bad choices. Horrible argument. Horrible. I mean, I get where they said, oh, I don't like people, but you still have to deal with it. That's a lot of people. A lot of people have to deal with people, especially, he's a server. He has to deal with people he doesn't like every single day. You can't use that argument against it. But, bro, don't be saying I have to smoke because of my audience, bruh.
I gotta deal with thousands of them.
No,
Let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure that my
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So
Yeah.
you know.
You know what I'm saying?
See him.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit on your face.
We can't even see.
Now I have to gain Marvel Rivals but probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we could just scrabble something around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m.
That's true.
I'm still probably thinking I gotta do something for stream. My mind is
Do you know what's crazy?
My
9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work.
He already did
I did my work today.
He took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
What? I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
What?
I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're
Give
talking
a man
yourself
enough
into a
rope.
hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, give a man a rope.
Wait.
It means
Is that racist?
Give a man a rope and you'll go deeper in the hole? Isn't that like a shovel? You keep digging the hole, stop digging? I don't think the rope has anything to do with it. I mean, he obviously said, oh, is he racist? He's just trolling, okay?
Wow.
Get this racist out here! I'm so confused.
All right.
Oh, you're back?
Babe, I want to say to you,
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah.
That's what
Wait, did anyone else talk?
You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit like that, do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said,
I'm an introvert. I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
And that's okay. But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero. No.
Rename the video 9 to 5 workers versus trolls. Debate. That's pretty much what it is. These guys, they're not serious. I mean, they're making content, really. And they're doing a good job because a lot of the stuff, they're getting laughs. They're saying outlandish things, crazy things. So it's great for content.
Okay.
All right, Jason. Who the hell is Jason? He is a fast rising Twitch streamer known for energetic gaming, IRL streams, and comedic content. He joined FaZe in 24. He got 1 million followers, 100K subscribers, and he had the second most subscriber stream on Twitch. Holy cow, that's really good. Ooh, damn, that's great. Oh, the guy who got hit with the pumpkin.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You look great. You look
That's
great.
right. I'm Thelma again.
Wait, get someone else. Why are we interviewing the same people?
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
Bruh.
No. I believe.
Oh, look at the girl in the back. Wait. Hold on, wait.
Dreaming.
Wait. Look at this lady in the back. Look at her. Look at her face. Bro, she's scared.
No. I believe.
Look at her.
I believe. No.
She's like, oh God, what am I doing here? I made a mistake.
Dreaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
That's on you, bro. That is on you. Do not blame the public for your decision. Who gives a crap? If you weren't so impressionable on what people say about you, then you wouldn't care. You can just be whoever you want. But it wasn't that. You just didn't want to have a relationship. That's it. You're just trying to scapegoat to blame it on someone else.
So my question.
Nah, I loved her.
My question.
I loved her, and you're laughing.
My question.
You loved her,
again,
but you abandoned
my
her.
question. If you think it's so
Because
much
of
harder,
publicity.
Because I'm passionate about it.
okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide.
Oh.
I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to do.
so you
with
lost the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human.
A lot of people will make sacrifices, but they won't completely sacrifice their whole family. They'll make sacrifices for their family, pursue something, but that doesn't mean they'll just get rid of the family. Oh man, I wanna start a business. Oh man, but I got a wife and kids. Well, guess I don't anymore. See, I'm leaving you. I'm gonna go start my company, and then maybe once I get it, I'll get you back. What? No, a lot of people start the company while they are just, struggling with their family. That's completely normal. He's just making excuses.
If I was flipping burgers, I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you lost the human touch. for the streaming.
Being a streamer, you have to be judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. A 9-to-5 person, maybe one, two, three.
Okay, and then back to my point. Is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though. The point
No,
is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming is harder
Was
than
that
9-to-5. That's the point.
you gave up your girlfriend for streaming? Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He
Yeah.
ran up a
I ain't
bag.
gonna lie,
You did it for a bag.
But the thing is, it comes to a point. Do I pick?
I don't know what
love
they're talking about.
And a future with someone I care dearly for, or do I pick
something that I
future
love,
something that I'm passionate about, and motion? I pick motion.
Sure. All right, we got someone new.
Lala Costa.
An attorney.
Amazing name.
That's an interesting name.
I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If you had an opportunity to get a 9-to-5 that you could create yourself, like whatever you want,
Yes, I
9 to
would.
5, you would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
You don't? What? Come to this side.
No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of.
You feel stuck.
I feel stuck, yeah.
You feel stuck in streaming, but yet you're making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. There's a lot of people who feel stuck in their 9-to-5 and they're making $40,000 to $80,000. So don't even, actually, there's people who maybe even make $150,000 a year in a 9-to-5 who feel like they're stuck because they have a mortgage, cars, they have bills to pay, where now they can't venture and do something else because they're stuck. They're like a slave to the debt they have. So even though they have a lot of money, they still have so much debt incurred that they have to keep working. So that's a bad excuse.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it? Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
All the time.
it's the same thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That TV show can't. It's done. What happens to all those actors?
It's
after that?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no. I'm saying if
Baby, stop.
thousands of you
Honey,
stop watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
If your
It's
father
gone.
would stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.
Okay, Swag. Swag? What kind of name is that? It's like 2016 name. He got an exclusive streaming contract with YouTube Gaming. Nice, good job. He's got the first YouTube member or FaZe Clan member to do so. Awesome. He achieved a good milestone. He got 80 kills in a Warzone match alongside fellow Nuke Squad members. Warzone, like the Battle Royale. He broke into the top 250 on Warzone 3 rank. Well, I don't know what that means. Oh, he ranked number 3. Okay. He clinched a pivotal victory in the WSOW qualifier, securing $1 million. Ooh, nice.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a professional.
She's a model, Alyssa.
But
Okay.
I've worked since I was at the age of 14.
Okay.
I was a gamer too.
I just think personally, like I agree with Jason that I think streaming does take a certain more than a 9-to-5, and I also think everybody in here, right? If you guys all try to be a streamer, right, and then we all try to do what you guys do,
You get L's in your chat.
the probability of everybody here trying to be an attorney.
In 2025, roughly 0.4 whatever of Americans are likely to be licensed practicing attorneys, equivalent to 1 in every 240 people. I think they meant to put this for the attorney girl, not the model.
Is way higher than somebody making streaming a career.
Absolutely, your job is you just got lucky because you're a gamer. You got lucky. There are so many people like you
I was
out
talented.
there.
It wasn't
These
pure
days,
luck.
everybody's an influencer. Come on.
No. But
So many.
no. But specifically, what I do, I'm not posting selfies around the world. It's basically all pure talent.
Wait,
Okay.
Can I just why is he lucky? Why do we all get lucky though?
What is your talent?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I was a professional Call of Duty player, like actual like. The
So you were
gaming.
sitting at home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a
I
camera.
was 16, so it wasn't really like
yeah,
that.
You weren't really thinking of what should I do
Yeah.
with my life? Like, what should I study? What should I like? Where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's
because-
just he's determined. He knows that's the only route.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours.
Yeah, no.
That's
yeah,
what we do too.
Yeah,
We go
yeah,
to
it
school,
wasn't
we
luck.
study.
Everybody's a little bit of luck. I think people who don't have a job, they feel like they want to get lucky by getting a job. So I think people even having a job is some sort of luck.
He said,
That's
how
true.
many people of us could do this?
That's
no,
true.
it's luck. It's 1 of a million because for whatever
How is
reason.
that luck? If 1 out of a million, that one has to be the best. So how are you going to dismiss?
No, that one does not have to be the best. He does not. It's a combination of skill and talent, and luck also plays a good factor. You do have to be skilled and talented. Luck is a major factor. And maybe you don't even need to be skilled or talented. Queso, one of the top streamers. Bro is not a talented gamer. He's just a great content creator. He just got lucky that people found him when he was grinding and it blew up. But he did increase his luck by constantly doing it. When you develop a skill, you can be lucky. You don't have to develop a skill or talent, but your luck rating is going to be extremely low. But if you have a skill, you have a talent, and you build on that, the more you build, the more you increase the chances of being lucky. So it's like gambling for a Powerball. You can buy one ticket, and you're going to have a small percentage of winning. But if you buy 1,000 tickets, you just increased your chances. That's kind of the example I'm getting at.
Is he the best?
Is
he the best?
I got four. No. Let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
so that's not luck. That's like pure skill.
So you're
exactly my point. He's saying it's not luck. You're right. He placed 4th. What happened to 3rd, 2nd, and 1st? What happened to 5th, 6th, and 7th? Those guys are all top 10. But where are they? Are they in phase? No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who the other people were, but I see him as 4th. Where are the other people? I mean, I'm pretty sure not all of them are making a bunch of money, millionaires. So that's where the luck comes in, where he had the skill that increased his chances of being lucky. And that's what he did. He was able to fall into this because he increased his luck factor.
We're dismissing, is Michael Jordan lucky? Is LeBron James lucky?
Yes.
Are they lucky?
I mean,
no,
they have a talent. They have a talent. But you know how many talented people are out there and don't get the chance? They don't get the shot at it?
That's
I don't wanna
true.
Take up his time. So he's not talented?
That's true.
That's not what I'm saying. Not
That's
at
what
all.
you just said.
You just said
what he did.
I
to get
said
to where
a
he
lot
is.
of people are talented, don't get the shot to do what he does.
Or people who
So
make it
it's
to the
luck.
NBA.
But I didn't even get a shot. It was I did it off the strength of me. You know, there was no one who gave me a shot or anything like that. I simply was. You dead ass?
Yo, you being serious?
Why you laughing?
Why is he laughing?
No.
Why are they laughing, bro?
It's not luck. I've been doing this for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 was I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
And yeah,
so that's not. I mean, if that's fucking,
stand on it.
If that's luck,
where's the luck at in that equation?
Again.
Is there a percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way. But
that's true.
Off of specific pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
Again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you. I'm
Yeah.
just talking in general. And there's so many people that are very talented, never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They don't meet the right people. So there are so many
Is that Jeff
talented
Goldblum?
actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying it's pure luck.
It wasn't luck. I just saw an opportunity and just genuinely took it. It wasn't a handout. It was simply just, you know what, I'm talented at Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career.
One note, that mail carrier, the mail carrier guy in the background, behind him, the first guy, I think it was the first guy they interviewed. Was it? Yeah, it was the first guy they interviewed. He kind of, you can tell he's from Jersey or New York.
I'm talented at
Boston.
Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
I will give her a break. She has the boomer mindset where they didn't really grow up with video games, or they didn't think about video games like that. They grew up with video games. They had old Ataris and whatever. So they knew about video games from the beginning. But a lot of old people never saw video games as a way to make money when you play them. And especially women. It's just a fact that old people don't really think about video games like that, and women don't really think about video games. That's not, when people make video games, they don't think about old people and they don't think about women, because that's not the target audience. It's just a fact. Young men play video games. That's a fact. So that's who a lot of people target. So I don't falter on just not understanding where they're coming from.
Dick ride? Hey, he's made tens of millions of dollars playing video games, so.
Exactly, that's that privilege. That's that privilege.
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and do what I do.
You couldn't do it.
That's a skill.
Your son couldn't do it. Your grandkids couldn't do it. Your son's grandkids could never do it. They could never do it.
Anything that takes a talent.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
How many hours a day did you spend
When I was younger?
Yeah, when you were younger.
Oh, I would wake up 3 hours before school. So I would wake up at 4 a.m. and I would play before school. Bus would come at 7. I go to home, come back, and do it again. I was 16. What's funny?
See, there's a disconnect here because to you guys, when you guys were growing up, yes, it was just video games, it was whatever. But
That's
when we were
true.
coming up, we're like, wait, maybe we can make this career. Maybe if we get good enough at it and we create.
Do you not think?
good enough
Do you not
content,
think if you're talented at something, it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not like.
You don't think you don't think it's talent.
You're just too old to understand.
I can't.
That's true.
I can't.
You're right.
Because
Y'all could never
gotta
play
keep it a-
FNCS either. It's the same
keep
shit.
it a
Even
buck,
when
there's a
I was growing up,
disconnection
I wasn't
from a
thinking video
generation
games
where
like
this
it's gonna be a
exist.
career.
You looked at this career and you laughed. Now, how come in colleges they're teaching courses on content creation and esports?
Oh.
When you grew up, this didn't exist, so no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit because you're from a completely different generation.
That's true.
You just don't get it,
100%.
and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around it.
Oh.
And it's fun. But it's like,
And that's
again, it's
okay.
Oh, you gotta
That's
fight
fine.
back.
That's
You gotta
okay.
fight back. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice meeting you.
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, nice
This
What's up?
past-
My name's Ronnie.
You were talking about job security. Are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like taking it back to. That's being what? What does that even mean?
You lose everything. Every dollar. Everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way
reinvent-
you can do if you get laid off. You get a
Yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's
Oh, and-
it's kind
okay.
of is it not the same concept? Like
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, "Oh, let me go to social media."
Okay, in 2020, widespread furloughs happened because of the COVID-19 pandemic, forcing businesses to close or scale back due to lockdowns and safety restrictions. With revenue dropping sharply, many companies couldn't afford to keep paying all the employees. All right, so let me explain what happened during 2020 for Bluecollar. In California, one of the most liberal states, when the 2020 lockdowns happened, they shut down everything. Bluecollar was the only people who stayed working. We still had to build and maintain all the infrastructure for everything. I'll even go as far as to say I actually worked for Pfizer. Before COVID even happened, I worked for Pfizer. I built some stuff at Pfizer. So when COVID happened, I saw, Pfizer, they came out with the vaccine. I was like, oh, shoot, I know Pfizer. I worked at the facility. I know people at Pfizer. Pfizer had a very strict mandate where you cannot work at their facility unless you're vaccinated, wear a mask, and show proof. For anyone, if you wanted to go on their site, you had to show proof of everything except Bluecollar. They made an exception for blue-collar workers because a lot of guys didn't want to do that stuff. And Pfizer said, yeah, well, we actually need this done, so we're going to just look the other way, and you guys can do that. It's fine. If you guys don't want to get vaccinated, wear masks, we don't care because we need this stuff done. And we stayed employed. And also, blue-collar, I don't know. For me, working blue-collar during the pandemic was beautiful. Didn't have to deal with anyone. Roads were clear. Zero traffic. If I wanted to do anything or get anything, I could because everything was there. Everything was in stock. People weren't rushing around going crazy. I could do whatever I wanted and go wherever I wanted. It was awesome. And we didn't get a break. We weren't able to just take time off. I mean, if we got sick, we could take time off because they didn't want to get everyone sick. So if somebody got sick, got COVID, even if you got sick, they forced you to take, I think it was like a week off or something like that, but they pay you. That was like a free vacation, even better. But then you'd have guaranteed work when you come back. Blue collar, for at least the pandemics, great. Blue collar did not struggle at all.
That's kind of an easy alternative, so that seems kind of easy.
I know, but if you lose a job, you
just get another one?
No, you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No?
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel, have to give that smile of walking through my resume.
I uploaded videos for 7 years and barely got any views.
And you uploaded 7 videos and didn't get any views?
Went to school and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked. I worked.
Oh, so that you had another job?
As a parking attendant, yes.
Okay, and was that harder?
Then what?
Than streaming?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't good at your
he's
job.
waiting for.
Yeah, when cars park, they're done. Like it doesn't. I don't have to.
Parking attendant is one of the easiest jobs in the world. Definitely one of the easiest.
I'm not security.
That's
I just
a
go.
1 9
I go like
to
this. I
5.
go like this. Yo, right there. I bet. Do you think an aspect of playing video games is a talent?
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can
It's
master
both.
it with,
But people millions play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
Gifted? What are they, Mozart?
How is it not a talent? Why is it not a talent what he does?
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart, that you have this gift of like, whoa, when I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this combo, I do this
You'd be
flip.
surprised. I mean, there's people out there who are genuinely
They have their opposable thumbs like so good.
That's like saying, here's a paintbrush, go paint me Picasso.
That's
like, what?
I'm saying this is so hard. If there's certain games that have $1 million prize pools, if there's a skill you could just learn and you're looking for a job for 10 months, go pick up a controller and go hop in this $1 million tournament and win it.
You couldn't
win it.
You couldn't. You couldn't.
Perhaps.
No, you
You
couldn't.
couldn't.
You couldn't.
You
You
couldn't
couldn't.
qualify.
You couldn't.
What do you mean I wouldn't
You can't even find your OBS stream key. Stop playing.
I need to work
I know what
for
that
it,
is.
but-
I understood that
But
reference.
you're dismissing what he does. You're just dismissing.
I'm
Like,
not
oh,
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill. It's not a talent.
I
Like,
said it's a skill.
it's
I didn't
easy.
say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you
how
can
do you
hone and
how do
you
you
can
know
master.
how do you know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you
I
don't.
played Mario Kart. I've played other
Bruh,
games.
I would destroy her in Mario Kart. I'd drift around her like nothing. I'd lap her multiple times on Rainbow Road, okay? She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Not a professional level though.
No, not a professional level because that's not what I'm trying to pursue.
I know, but you don't understand what it takes to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's yours is harder?
What
How
does-
do you know?
what
But how
does
do
it
you
take
know?
to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah. What
so
does it take to be on
But
that
she
level?
didn't even say what she does, so how do we
You
even
gotta
know
play
if her job's hard or not?
Tens of thousands of hours of work and editing and filming and constantly.
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate and
skill. As far as like the
reinvent
videos and stuff like that, just off pure skill.
I had
you
to
did-
put tens of thousands of hours
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players? You
I
couldn't.
can also put. I
What's
can
that?
circle
What is he talking
back
about?
and give
It's
you
like
different
Fortnite
words
Launchpad?
from
When you're
my
trying to get to
industry.
third zone.
The Launchpad is for
You
you.
know how to short?
No,
launch
I
it?
don't. But if
Exactly,
I want,
you couldn't, but Excel sheet, you could do Excel sheet.
no, but exactly. I
They're just
can
talking.
Yeah.
They're just talking game.
These
and
refreshes
As a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you about the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put on
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
But let me give you. If I give you 3.
I will say this, a lot of jobs, this whole thing of you need to go to school to learn how to do a job, waste the time and waste the money. A lot of jobs, you can learn how to do them. You're not going to master them, but you can learn how to do them within a month. Even blue collar, you can learn how to do them and be decent at them within a month. You're not going to master them, like I said, but you can learn how to do them and you'll be fine. You don't have to go to school or go to all this crazy stuff to learn everything because most jobs aren't difficult. They're not. It's stuff that somebody already thought of and has a procedure to do, and you just copy what they did. Someone just, hey, that's why you do like shadowing. Oh, hey, this is how you do this. This is how we do it. Okay, boom, done. And then you just learn as you go to get better and better. That's it.
3 days about a video game. Do you think you could be that talented as me?
if I wanted to, I would.
So let's pay for her, whatever it is. Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you got to give us it back in double.
No, that's not how the job works.
Oh, yeah,
You pay
that's a
me,
bad
I
deal.
get the job done.
Each 9-to-5 worker will now give their final thoughts on if streaming is actually more difficult.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's
There you go.
difficult to answer that question for us, I think, because we didn't come up in this time frame in this era. And technology is totally different now, because we were just talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with Carl. I appreciate and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are.
That's
But
nice.
It's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think.
So my mind was changed in the sense that now I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
Okay. All right, so that's the video. What do I think? What's my consensus? Do I think that 9-to-5 or blue collar is harder than streaming? Again, it's too vague of a question. Some parts, 100% blue collar is way harder than streaming. But also there's some parts of streaming that's way harder than blue collar. The payoff for streaming is way better. You make millions, you're not gonna make that with blue collar. But again, I also think that this probably should have been 9-to-5 workers versus business owner, because that's kind of what it feels like. But let me know what you guys think. What part of your job could a streamer never do? Or is your whole job way harder than a streamer's? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.